I'm so excited that my new book, My Time to Stand, is coming out very, very soon. It comes out December 10th. And you can get your copy, whether it be the original copy, an audio version, or a signed copy, in the links below.
But yet you have the audacity to name your book My Time to Stand.
Which one of y'all going to go see Gypsy Rose on Friday the 13th? The girl who unalived her mom using a man with autism on Friday the 13th. For $35. What type of luck do you think that is?
Should I go to Gypsy's book signing with Dee Dee? I'm gonna bring Dee Dee to the book signing. Dee Dee, you gonna like that. You gonna really like that. Dee Dee said she's excited. She's really excited. She's gonna like that. She's never been on a plane before.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard, a name that once evoked sympathy, outrage, and intense debate, is back in the spotlight. But this time, it's not for her court case, her complex story of abuse, or the shocking crime that landed her in prison. No, this time, Gypsy is promoting her new memoir, My Time to Stand, with a meet and greet event set for December 13th.
Hey everybody, good morning. So I'm so excited that my new book, My Time to Stand, is coming out very, very soon. It comes out December 10th. And you can get your copy, whether it be the original copy, an audio version, or a signed copy, in the links below.
But instead of welcoming her with open arms, the public has erupted into a heated conversation about accountability, manipulation, and whether Gypsy is truly deserving of the redemption arc she seems to be crafting. If you follow Gypsy's story, you'll know it's one filled with twists, turns, and contradictions. But this event has opened an entirely new chapter of debate. Today, we are diving deep into everything: the memoir, the meet and greet, the public backlash, and what this says about Gypsy's place in the culture conversation. Gypsy Rose Blanchard's meet and greet is not just another promotional event. It's a symbol of her re-entry into public life after years of controversy and imprisonment. Set to take place on Friday, December 13th at 5 p.m. in the historic Garden District bookstore in New Orleans.
Wow, Gypsy, you collected SSI until you were 23 for having walking issues, but yet you have the audacity to name your book My Time to Stand. According to this, you collected SSI because you were unable to hold down a job because you were unable to walk properly. Interesting. So according to Google, you could face up to 5 years of imprisonment for SSI fraud. Instead, you got 8 years for murdering your mother and wrote a book naming it after your fraudulent behavior.
The event is being advertised as a unique opportunity for fans and curious onlookers alike to meet Gypsy, get a signed copy of her memoir, My Time to Stand, and even snap a photo with her. On the surface, the idea of a meet and greet might seem harmless, even standard for an author trying to promote their book. But this isn't just any other author, and this isn't just any story. Gypsy's fame and infamy stems not from literary achievements or entertainment, but from a true crime case that gripped the world. Her story has been the subject of countless documentaries, podcasts, and dramatized portrayals, including Hulu's The Act. And while those portrayals have helped make Gypsy a household name, they have also sparked debates about her culpability, her narrative, and the ethics of profiting from a crime.
This is actually kind of the first time I've been honest. Besides being honest, my attorneys, even that, I haven't been completely honest with them.
Now, this meet and greet is reigniting those debates in ways that few could have anticipated. For $35, attendees can purchase any early bird ticket, which includes a signed copy of My Time to Stand and a photo opportunity with Gypsy. While the price may seem modest compared to celebrity meet and greets that can cost hundreds of dollars, it's not the cost that has people talking. It's the principle. Why is Gypsy charging for an event like this? And more importantly, what does it say about her perception of herself and her relationship with the public? For many critics, the very concept of a paid meet and greet feels exploitative, especially given that Gypsy's fame is rooted in a violent and tragic crime.
Which one of y'all going to go see Gypsy Rose on Friday the 13th? The girl who unalived her mom using a man with autism on Friday the 13th. For $35. What type of luck do you think that is? You already know she had the shirt on that says, Devils roll the dice. She might be able to do that, but you, my friend, can't. I want to know who is paying $35 for her to sign their book. It's including the book, I guess. And it's her time to stand. I guess you'll be watching her standing. But I want to know who is doing this. It's in New Orleans. Y'all better be trolling her. Better. Because this cannot be for real.
This isn't just a chance to meet an author. It's a chance to meet someone whose notoriety comes with a heavy ethical burden. Now, let's break down that $35 ticket price, because for many people, this is where things start to feel uncomfortable. The hardcover version of My Time to Stand retails for $26.96, meaning that the remaining $8.04 is essentially the cost of Gypsy's signature and a photo opportunity. At first glance, this might not seem like much, especially when compared to what other public figures charge for similar experiences. But this isn't just about the money. It's about the implications. Gypsy isn't an actor, musician, or influencer with a built-in fan base eager to support her work. Her notoriety comes from her involvement in the murder of her mother, Didi Blanchard, a crime that, while arguably complex and now, still resulted in the loss of life. To many people, the idea of charging for a photo and autograph under these circumstances feels exploitative, even tone deaf.
Friend, it is her time to stand. Do you hear me? I just want to elaborate on something really quick, because Friday the 13th, the movie, look up the chant. And what does the chant mean? When I tell you, when you look that up, it is going to blow your wig cap right back. Child. You can't tell me everything's a coincidence. My therapist told me there's no such things as coincidences. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you what the therapist told me, Bookie. Something ain't right. Are y'all smelling what The Rock is cooking? Or what Gypsy's cooking up? Something ain't right, y'all. But it is illegal, but it's not illegal. Like in certain states, it's illegal. In Louisiana, it like there's clause in it. I don't know how she's bypassing it other than putting it into a trust.
Online reactions to the pricing structure have been swift and merciless. One tweet that gained significant traction read, $35 to meet Gypsy Rose? Might as well throw in a commemorative mug that says, I met a murderer. Another user wrote, imagine paying $8 for a photo with someone who became famous for all the wrong reasons. What is she even thinking? The outrage isn't just about $8.04. It's about what that $8 represents.
Should I go to Gypsy's book signing with Didi? Ooh. I'm gonna bring Didi to the book signing. Didi, you gonna like that. You gonna really like that. Didi said she's excited. She's really excited. She's gonna like that. She's never been on a plane before.
To her critics, it feels like Gypsy is trying to position herself as a celebrity, leveraging her past for profit without addressing the moral complexities of her story. But it doesn't stop there. The backlash extends to the entire concept of a paid meet and greet. Many people believe that Gypsy should be focusing on rebuilding her life quietly and responsibly, not monetizing her notoriety. She's acting like she's a reality TV star, One commenter wrote, "This isn't a redemption arc, it's a cash grab." The controversy surrounding the meet and greet event isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a larger pattern of public distrust toward Gypsy Rose Blanchard, whose narrative has been questioned and criticized ever since her case first made headlines. To understand this, we'll have to go back to the beginning. Gypsy's story initially captured public sympathy. She was portrayed as a victim of severe abuse forced by her mother, Didi, to pretend she was severely ill and disabled. Didi controlled every aspect of Gypsy's life, confining her to a wheelchair, subjecting her to unnecessary medical treatments, and isolating her from the outside world.
I believed I had all these illnesses and so that I knew I could walk and I knew that I could eat. It wasn't until I saw my attorney for the first time and he tells me that there's been no medical records that says I have cancer, and it shocked me.
This kind of abuse, known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy, is horrifying in its own right. And it's no wonder that Gypsy was initially seen as a tragic figure. But as the details of her involvement in Didi's murder came to light, the narrative shifted. Gypsy wasn't just a victim. She was also an active participant in the plan to kill her mother. Her then boyfriend, Nick Godejohn, carried out the act, but it was Gypsy who initiated the plan, convincing Nick to help her escape what she described as life of abuse and control. The duality of victim and perpetrator has made Gypsy a polarizing figure. On the one hand, there is sympathy for the abuse she endured. On the other hand, there is a lingering sense that she hasn't taken full accountability for her actions. Over the years, Gypsy's interviews and public statements have only added to the skepticism. Critics argue that her narrative has been inconsistent, with key details changing depending on the audience. This has led many to question the authenticity of her story and whether she's truly learned from her past. As one social media user put it, Gypsy Rose wants us to see her as a victim, but her actions tell a different story. She's still manipulating the narrative, just like her mother taught her.
She learned all her tricks from her mother. If you watch her videos, anytime they ask about her ex-boyfriend, who her mom for her just threw his whole entire life away, has life in prison, she's like, can't worry about that.
The lack of trust has become a significant barrier for Gypsy as she attempts to re-enter public life. And it's not just about the murder, it's about the perception that Gypsy is more interested in profiting from her story than taking genuine accountability for her role in it. The backlash against Gypsy isn't just limited to online debates. Some individuals and advocacy groups are planning to protest the event itself. These protests aren't just about Gypsy's alleged dishonesty. They are also a call for justice for Nick Godejohn. Nick, who has been portrayed as a puppet in Gypsy's master plan, has gained a small but vocal group of supporters who argue that he was manipulated into committing the crime. These supporters believe that Gypsy has benefited from public sympathy while Nick has been unfairly vilified. Protest organizers have promised to keep their demonstrations peaceful, but their message is clear. Gypsy doesn't deserve to profit from a story that destroyed multiple lives. Now, let's talk about My Time to Stand. The memoir is being marketed as a candid and heartfelt account of Gypsy's life, detailing her experiences with abuse, her time in prison, and her journey towards self-discovery. But not everyone is convinced that this memoir is a genuine attempt at honesty. The title alone, My Time to Stand, has been criticized as ironic and even disrespectful. Gypsy, after all, was never physically unable to stand. Her mother's lies forced her into a wheelchair in public. But Gypsy always knew the truth about her own mobility. Then there's the book description, which frames Gypsy as the ultimate victim of her mother's abuse. It highlights her struggles but conveniently glosses over her role in the murder. Critics argue that the memoir is less about telling the truth and more about controlling the narrative to paint Gypsy in a sympathetic light. One passage reads, Gypsy shares the painful realities she grew up with and the details of her life that only she knows. But here's the thing, the only other person who could have corroborated or contradicted Gypsy's version of events, her mother, is dead. The fact alone has led to a widespread skepticism about the memoir's accuracy. Gypsy has openly admitted that her mother taught her how to lie and manipulate people, skills that she seems to have carried into adulthood. Some theorists even suggest that Gypsy may have been complicit in Diddy's schemes, benefiting from the financial perks and sympathy that came with pretending to be ill.
It's beautiful, and it's happy, and it's full of love.
While this theory remains unproven, it reflects the deep mistrust many people have toward Gypsy. For them, the memo and meet and greet aren't just promotional efforts. They're part of a larger pattern of manipulation and self-interest. So what do you think? Is Gypsy's memoir a genuine attempt to share her story, or is it just another chapter in a long history of manipulation? Would you attend her meet and greet, or do you believe it's time for Gypsy to step out of the spotlight? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest drama and controversies.